Hello everyone, welcome to another part of Homebrew series. Today we are going to talk about thermometers. Now there are a lot of thermometers, temperature control is very important. Why temperature control is important? Let's talk about that. Okay. Now the fermentation is essentially your microbes, the yeast, the acid, yeast in case of making wines and beers, Acetobacter in case of making kombucha or vinegars, or your lactobacillus in case of making pickles. Pickles could be like you're making sauerkraut, you're making kimchi, those kinds of pickles. Brine pickles would be another thing. Or in case of if you're making sake, if you're making miso, tempeh, then you have Aspergillus oryzae, which is the koji rice that we call about. So there are different cultures that we use. Each of these cultures have a different optimal temperatures based on what kind of fermentation that you are doing, what stage of fermentation you are. So that is the reason why temperature control is very important. Now, if you don't do temperature control, what will happen is that you may end up, because India is a hot country, you might end up with too hot a temperature. If you end up with too hot a temperature, then your yeast, your microbes becomes a little bit stressed, and when they become stressed, they start producing off flavors, and sometimes they also start producing things which can give you a hangover. This is one of the reasons why desi daru jo bolte hain, which is a local country liquor, they tends to give you hangover because the brewer there is not having good control over his equipment. He is not maintaining the temperature properly. However, if the temperature is too low, then the issue that will happen is the microbes require some temperature to live and maintain their vitality. So if the temperature is too low, then your fermentation speed will drop down drastically. So something which takes about a week to finish, you might even end up consuming a month to achieve the same level. Or sometimes it might become so stressed that the fermentation activity itself stops. So that is the reason why each of the standard recipes will mention you an optimal temperature range. If the temperature range is not mentioned, then it is safe to assume that room temperature, 25 degrees Celsius, is the range that the brewer or the recipe maker expects you to use. Now, depending upon what kind of fermentation that you are doing, I'm going to tell you about 4 different thermometers that we have. Okay, let's start with one of the very simple thermometers. This is a simple digital thermometer. It has a short probe here. Now since this is a digital thermometer, you can attach it anywhere. You can attach it to your fermentation chamber. You can attach it wherever you want, and wherever you keep the probe. So if I test this probe, you can see the temperature is increasing. When I remove it, the temperature starts falling because this silver probe is what is required. This is pretty commonly used. So this is one thermometer. Now comes to the second thermometer, which is a which is a thermometer that you would have used it in the laboratories, etc. I have a knack towards using mechanical thermometers because they are pretty safe and easier to use. Now this is reading 25 degrees Celsius. Now this is called the spirit thermometer. So this red spirit which is there, it reads the thermometer, and we have used a short range. So this is from -10 degrees to 50 degrees Celsius. The reason is when you're cold crashing, you would go lower for lower temperatures, and when you're doing any wine making or activating of yeast, you would typically go for 30, maximum 35 degrees Celsius. So this is an ideal range, and it becomes a very long scale. So the long scale helps you identify the temperature movement at a very finer grain. You can even get the same size thermometer which measures from 0 to 100. But that thermometer will not help you because then the readings will be too small behind. Now just to show you, I'll hold this for 2 minutes, and you can see that earlier it was 25, now it has started increasing, right? So it will start increasing as you hold the bulb. So the bulb is important. So you make sure that the bulb is attached wherever you are required. Now when you are making wine, for example, if this is your wine jar or your fermenter, you can there's a small rubber strip here through which you can attach a thread there, and so you can add this in a big or small thing, and then you can attach a thread to it so that it does not go down and you do not lose this thermometer. So it will remain suspended. So as it remains suspended, it becomes easier for you to read, again because of the benefit of having a very large dial here. Okay. Now, one of the important questions people say is, I can't use this for beer mashing. The reason I cannot use for beer mashing is because mashing happens at 50-55 degrees, and then towards the end you do a boil off. Boil off means you essentially boil your beer wort so that DMS and some of the off flavors go away, and your beer also becomes sanitized. So for that purpose, we don't recommend you this. What we recommend you is a dial thermometers. Now you get these smaller thermometers as well, but the problem with smaller thermometers is that this dial, this probe has to touch the wort for it to measure accurately. So if you have to touch the wort, a small dial, if you hold it like this and the water is boiling, your hands will start scalding. So a long probe will help you ensure that the distance is maintained. And if you are an industrial brewer, it also has a screw, so you can attach it to your big fermenters, big mashing vessels, and then you can screw it up. So with the long probe and a screw mechanism, it is easier for you. And again, like the previous one, it has a big dial which is easy for you to read. So even if in the brewing environment, especially when you are boiling and mashing it, a lot of steam also gets generated. So the steam tends to cloud and makes it difficult to read a small dial. So the big dial will help you ensure that. So this is what this thing is. Now last one is my favorite one. The reason is these are called LCD thermometer stickers. Firstly, it is unbreakable because it's just a sticker. It's a LCD thermometer. Now the white strip at the back is a sticker. You can peel it off and stick it. So I've stuck this for your reference, and you can see that the white paper base has been removed. So it is a peel, easy to attach thermometer. Now, problem with all these is all the other thermometers that I've talked about, it measures the surface temperature. It does not measure the surface temperature. It measures the air temperature, or it has to be in contact with the liquid. Now, when you're doing in a small kind of environment, being in contact with the liquid is going to be difficult, because then you need to have a probe through which to there, and then you have to seal that probe. All those issues have to be there. Then it will add more surfaces for the contamination to happen. Instead of this, these stickers, you just peel it on the surface. So it is measuring the surface temperature. The normal thermometers will measure the air temperature. Even if you attach it next to it, it will measure the air temperature. So there is going to be some degree of error. This will not be there. The shatterproof is also another thing. And now I'm going to put this on my palm, right? So you can see that earlier it was 26, now it is 28, 30. So like this, your reading will start increasing. So this is at 24 degrees Celsius, and your reading here would be reading here is like here is 30 degrees Celsius, because my hand is warmer than this vessel. So these are the 4 thermometers. Each of them have different purposes, and pick and choose whatever suits your style. Thank you. Bye bye.